Welcome back to another amazing video from Ape Recaps. Today I'm going to explain a comedy, action movie called Mutant Blast, released in the year 2018. The film is about Maria, a fearless soldier, and TS-347, a man with superhuman strength, who are being pursued by a military cell responsible for scientific experiments that have resulted in a zombie apocalypse. On the way, they meet Pedro, a man with few ambitions and a great hangover. Together, they try to escape to a safe place, but complications will cross their paths in the form of a nuclear bomb. But before we begin, beware of the spoilers. Watch out and take care. And I hope you enjoy the video. The film opens with a woman who is going into a room with some soldiers, and it seems like something has gone wrong. They go inside a room where they see a muscular man. The woman takes out a syringe while a woman soldier puts her gun on the muscular man's head. Just as the woman is about to inject, the woman soldier shoots the other soldiers and tells the woman to not inject the muscular man with whatever she has in the syringe. She drops it and claims that the man is a test subject and there are many other test subjects. The man chokes the woman and kills her. He then breaks free from his collar with his own hands. He and the soldier woman, Maria, go outside and they come across dozens of zombies that are ready to eat them. Maria shoots the zombies while the test subject kills the zombies with his bare hands and violently bashes their heads. They go outside while covered in blood and they witness more zombies. They approach them as the scene cuts to 28 hours later. We see a man named Pedro waking up in his bed with a massive hangover. He goes to the toilet and remembers that there was a party last night and he got extremely drunk. The most frightening thing he remembers is that a woman came to their party and told them to lower their voice and return like being a zombie somehow. She wreaks havoc at the party as blood splatters and she eats everyone except Pedro, of course. He then remembers that everyone at the party must be turned into a zombie as a zombie comes out of the bathtub. He runs out and locks many zombies inside while one zombie is outside. He runs down the stairs and the zombie chases after him. He somehow gets rid of the zombie and comes outside as he sees that everything is ruined. We then see some men, talking about the muscular man that escaped with the girl, and they refer to him as TS-347. They tell their boss that they had 2 guards trying to find them, but the boss did not have them. He orders them to drop bombs so that the zombies are out of the way, and then sends all of their units towards Maria and TS-347. We then see the 2 guards and one of them kills a zombie as blood splatters on his face. They then proceed to find Maria and TS-347. In the next scene, Maria is sitting on the stairs as TS-347 is killing zombies. He violently bashes a zombie's head with his foot and decapitates another with a simple punch. Pedro comes there alongside several other zombies. Maria shoots them, but in doing so, she accidentally shoots TS-347 right in the head. He dies right there as she leaves with Pedro, and the zombies start to eat TS-347. 2 hours later, after facing some more zombies, they spend a night in a safe place where they start to talk. She tells him that she is part of a resistance group that tries to put an end to these experiments. She says that the government did human experiments in order to make them superhuman. Everyone turned into zombies and went outside the facility, while the only superhuman was killed by Maria and Pedro. She further tells him that they will go to an island and there they will be safe and will have food. Pedro decides that he will keep watch while she sleeps. He also sleeps and sees a bizarre dream in which he is a noble warrior and has to rescue the princess. When he wakes up, he sees that there are 2 men who are holding them hostage and they want to rape Pedro. They are interested in Pedro only and not Maria. However, when Marian fights back, a bomb goes off and all of them fall down. They wake up as both the men get mutated. Pedro sees something growing in his hand as it pops out and his own blood splatters on his face. He later sees that it was a rat that came out of his hand. How quaint. The hand rat kills the mutated men as they leave the place and go away. We again see the men talking as their boss is yelling at them because he told them to launch 10 normal bombs and they launched 10 nuclear bombs while spreading radiation everywhere. They then decide to let out their deadly evil test subject. While on the run, Maria sees that she is growing a third but decides to chop it off with a knife. Then, the evil test subject kills the 2 guards who were also mutated due to the nuclear bombs. Maria and Pedro kept walking and trying to reach the island. Pedro says he cannot walk anymore and faints. He wakes up as he sees that many other freaks surround him. All of them are also victims of the radiation, as one of them literally turned into a lobster. He talks with them as Maria is on the phone with the people on the island. She asks them if she can bring any other people with her to the island. She wanted to bring the freaks with her but they refused. However, she still manages to get permission to bring one person with her, who is obviously Pedro. She talks to one of the freaks and explains how she and Pedro will leave, but they cannot come with them. She then takes Pedro by the side and starts to explain why they cannot take the freaks with them. He is infuriated as the evil test subject gets there. He injures one of the freaks and Maria attacks him. Pedro comes and takes off a pipe from his face mask. He takes it off and does not survive the environment without the mask. To top this off, randomly, a giant goofy rat comes and starts to attack them. The giant rat is the mother and she even shoots them with milk which comes out of her nipples. She even smiles while killing them. At the end, she approaches Pedro and instead of killing him, she bites off the rat from his hand, which is revealed to be her son. She takes her son, who miraculously grew in his hand. It makes perfect sense. Once the mother leaves, Maria finds a perfectly normal duck, obvious sarcasm, that one of the surviving freaks decides that they will eat. She advises otherwise, but the freak says that he has been hungry for many days and, at this point, he will eat anything. He grabs the duck as it bites him and tons of blood splashes on Maria's face, but he manages to break free. Later on, we see the freak cooking the duck and passing it to everyone as he himself eats the duck. Maria asks him about how he could eat a duck like that and he claims that he would even eat a human baby at that point. Pedro also does not seem to have any issues with eating duck while Maria is getting grossed out. But once she tries it, she starts to eat it. While eating the duck, the lobster, who also survived, starts to talk about how he used to live underwater. Maria asks him about how he can be so evolved and how he acts like a human. He gets a little offended and explains how animals are much smarter than humans think they are. He starts to express his hate for dolphins. He starts to loudly curse dolphins and just then, to top everything off, a katana-wielding gangster dolphin appears and takes off the hoodie that it was apparently wearing while it also laughs. Maria and Pedro later start to talk and they think that only 2 of the freaks are left with them, so they should take them to the island. Maria also kisses Pedro. On the island, they contact her and ask her why she brought 3 people with her instead of 1. They also mention that the boat will come in half an hour and will take them to the island, but till then, they should stay safe. We then see the test subject who is tripping balls. Due to the radiation, he has now grown only a single horn on his head and it is not even in the middle, it is on the side. The lobster is standing with another freak and he decides that he will go back to the ocean where he came from. Both of them hug and just as the lobster is about to go inside the ocean, zombies start to come. The lobster kills a few of them until the badass dolphin with a katana comes back. Both the dolphin and the lobster start to fight as the test subject, now with only 1 horn, comes to kill all of them. Maria shoots at him but he is not affected by it. She then engages in a physical fight with the test subject as the lobster and the dolphin fight. The dolphin cuts one of the lobster's hands off with its katana, but the lobster jabs his other hand into the dolphin's gut. The dolphin stabs him in the stomach with the katana as both of them are fatally wounded. While this perfectly normal fight is going on, the test subject gains the upper hand as he starts to choke her. Pedro comes but he pushes him away easily. He then throws her down while getting on top and choking her harder. She takes out her knife and jabs him in the abdomen as blood splatters. Pedro goes and grabs the gun and tries to shoot the test subject. Instead, he shoots one of Maria's breasts as she gets up from there and the test subject is also startled. She is consumed with rage as she starts to yell at Pedro for doing such a thing. She explains how a small child could have shot the test subject with his eyes closed. Then, in order to give a visual representation, she puts her hands on the eyes and shoots the test subject. Back at the dolphin-lobster feud, both of them are almost dying as the lobster crawls near the sea. The dolphin also just goes away somewhere or dies. The lobster sits with the other surviving freak and tells him that all he wanted was to be with his love. He mentions her name and gives him a letter to give to her after the lobster's sad death. The surviving freak sheds tears as he promises that he will give her the letter. We then see an animation of what the lobster would have done underwater with his beloved if he were alive. He marries her and lives happily. Maria, Pedro and the surviving freak all sit in front of the sunset and they enjoy a smoke together while talking. Here, this goofy movie ends. To watch many more exciting movie recaps like this, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Let us know in the comments section about your favorite movie that you would like us to recap next. Thanks again for watching, stay safe and healthy.